WWE fans, brace yourselves because Rikishi, the legendary Hall of Famer, has just revealed what he claims to be WWE's biggest secret yet. According to him, Jey Uso's devastating loss of the championship title was not just a simple defeat, it was rigged. Furthermore, he alleges that Jacob Fatu's shocking betrayal was all part of a much darker, carefully orchestrated conspiracy behind the scenes. The wrestling world is absolutely stunned after Rikishi dropped these explosive accusations, especially in an emotional and intense Instagram live session where he didn't hold back. He insisted that WWE intentionally set his son Jey up to lose his title to Gunther, and this wasn't mere bad luck or storyline coincidence. Rikishi also pointed to the surprising turn of events involving Jacob Fatu turning his back on Solo Sikoa, as well as Seth Rollins' controversial Money in the Bank win, as clear signs of a sinister plan to dismantle the bloodline. The fallout from Jey's heartbreaking title loss is still fresh, and the bloodline itself appears to be in complete chaos after Fatu's shocking betrayal, so Rikishi's claims have only added more fuel to the already blazing fire. As the patriarch of the Samoan wrestling dynasty, he suggested that Paul Heyman's new faction, consisting of Seth Rollins, Braun Breaker, and Bronson Reed, has been unfairly favored and given advantages in their matches, while his family was systematically being torn apart behind the scenes. But the big question remains, is this the justified rage of a father fiercely protecting his son and legacy, or is there genuine evidence backing up these jaw-dropping allegations? Rikishi's voice was filled with anger and frustration as he revealed that this plan has been in motion since WrestleMania. He questioned why Jacob Fatu suddenly turned against the family, why Gunther seemed to receive special treatment with referees bending the rules, and why Seth Rollins' Money in the Bank briefcase remained untouched when it usually would have been stolen by rivals. The most shocking claim he made was that Roman Reigns, the tribal chief himself, was aware of this entire scheme and that his sudden absence was no accident, but rather a deliberate move to expose WWE's alleged plot against the bloodline. This conspiracy theory suggests that WWE officials have been actively working to break up the Samoan family. Heyman's faction, according to Rikishi, pressured for Jey to lose the championship cleanly while protecting Seth Rollins at all costs. Roman's silence on the matter has led to speculation that he might be gathering evidence for a potential lawsuit. Was Jacob Fatu's betrayal actually an act of protest against WWE's creative booking? The most damning evidence Rikishi shared were text messages from an unnamed WWE producer that explicitly said, "Jey's reign needs to end differently," just weeks before the match. Rikishi wasn't just defending his son. He was publicly declaring war on WWE's creative decisions. With the bloodline fractured and tensions soaring to unprecedented levels, these allegations could have serious backstage repercussions that go far beyond the scripted storylines fans see on TV. How will WWE respond to these bombshell claims? Is Roman Reigns really secretly orchestrating a rebellion behind the scenes? And what about Jey Uso? Will he get the chance to reclaim his title and prove these accusations wrong? Fans are encouraged to sound off with their thoughts, smash that like button, subscribe to stay updated because this dramatic saga is far from over, and make sure notifications are turned on because the bloodline scandal is just beginning and promises many more shocking twists to come. WWE fans, prepare yourselves, because one of the most jaw-dropping and controversial revelations in recent wrestling history has just come to light. The wrestling world is reeling in shock and disbelief after WWE Hall of Famer Rikishi came forward with an emotional and fiery exposé that could change everything we thought we knew about the recent events unfolding within the WWE universe. According to Rikishi, the devastating loss of Jey Uso's championship title was not just a scripted part of the storyline, it was part of a calculated and sinister plot orchestrated by WWE officials themselves to dismantle the legendary Samoan bloodline and break up the family's dominance from within. During a raw and powerful Instagram live session, Rikishi, the proud patriarch of the famed Samoan wrestling dynasty, made a series of explosive accusations that left fans around the world stunned. He claimed that Jey Uso's shocking title defeat at the hands of Gunther wasn't an accident or a result of poor performance. It was the result of a deliberate setup designed to make him fail. According to Rikishi, Gunther was handed unfair advantages, including what he called special referees, who manipulated the rules and turned a blind eye at crucial moments. But that was only the tip of the iceberg. Rikishi didn't stop there. He went on to claim that Jacob Fatu's shocking betrayal of Solo Sikoa wasn't just a storyline twist, but part of a larger scheme that had been brewing behind the scenes for months. He suggested that WWE executives had been planning to tear the bloodline apart since WrestleMania. He questioned why Jacob, someone raised in loyalty to the family, would suddenly turn his back. He asked why Seth Rollins' Money in the Bank victory seemed unusually smooth and uncontested, pointing out that past winners often faced obstacles, interference, or theft of their briefcases, none of which happened with Rollins. In Rikishi's view, it was all far too convenient to be coincidence. He laid further blame on Paul Heyman, suggesting that Heyman had quietly aligned himself with WWE's new golden faction, Seth Rollins, Braun Breaker, and Bronson Reed. Rikishi claimed that this group was being elevated at the expense of his family, getting backstage support, match protection, and storyline benefits, while the Samoan family members were set up for public failure. He even went as far as to suggest that Heyman specifically pushed for Jey Uso to lose in a clean, humiliating fashion in order to weaken the bloodline's aura of dominance. But perhaps the most shocking and controversial part of Rikishi's broadcast was his accusation that Roman Reigns, yes, the tribal chief himself, knew this conspiracy was underway long before it played out on live television. According to Rikishi, Roman's sudden absence from WWE wasn't because of injury or rest, but because he chose to step back and allow the entire situation to unravel in order to expose the corruption within WWE's creative team and management. Rikishi raised the possibility that Roman might be quietly collecting evidence and testimonies in preparation for a legal battle or public campaign against the company's leadership. He didn't just share opinions. Rikishi revealed text messages, allegedly from a high-ranking WWE producer, which stated, "Jey's reign needs to end differently." This message, which he claims was sent weeks before the title match, could indicate that the outcome was decided long in advance and that the match was never meant to give Jey a fair chance. These texts, if proven authentic, could suggest a level of manipulation that goes beyond scripted drama and into dangerous ethical territory. With his voice trembling with both rage and pain, Rikishi made it clear that he was no longer going to remain silent. He declared war, not on fellow wrestlers, but on the system that he says betrayed his family and everything they stood for.
To the new Shield Deb.